Yes, good morning guys, hopefully everyone is good, hopefully everyone is doing well this fine morning. I've got the mic and I'm maybe using it. So it is 7:15. I've been sleeping still really good throughout prep so far, which I think a lot of it comes down to the fact I'm going to bed a little bit earlier because my last meal doesn't take too long for me to eat. But also on top of that, I think just generally like having slightly lower caffeine consumption. Last week my average caffeine consumption was 189 milligrams, which for me is really good. And usually it's like, even the whole of this prep though, it's been like a sub 300. I think the highest it's been is like 280, but like I remember last prep my average was probably like a good bit higher than that, let's say. But I think a lot of that's just coming down to me sort of tapering off, not tapering off, but like reducing Stimpy. Like, I'm not really having that too much now. I'm just having like coffees throughout the day, like 1 or 2 coffees. I've had obviously the old Monster here and there, but yeah, honestly I'm just using black coffee. I have one in the morning, as you can see I've got one now, and this for instance today will be probably my only caffeine. This black iced Americano that I was just made myself, because I'm going to train earlier today, because basically I've got a massage at 3 p.m. So I don't really want to train after I get a massage done. So I know I could train obviously a little bit later than that, but I also I've got some other stuff to do this in like midday, and basically I won't have enough time. So I'm going to train off one meal today, which I don't really mind for back. And I'm like, again, as much as I am getting deeper into prep, like probably like 5 to 7 weeks out now, like I'll still have a great session off one meal. Like my food's not that low. I do want to get cracking on with my cardio, because I don't like to my cardio too close to when I'm training, but at the same time it's back, so it shouldn't have too much of a detriment. We've got 35 minutes of cardio, which I'll do after I drink this. I need to start drinking this, and then I'm going to do like probably like 4 or 5k steps as always, and then I'll do some other stuff. I have my first meal. We'll do some mobility work. I like doing mobility work on my back days, just because that's usually where my shoulder gives me the most jip. And then have my pre-workout meal, do a couple check-ins. My WhatsApp's relatively clear right now, which is sweet. So yeah, we'll just kind of go from there really. But in the meantime, I'm going to drink this coffee. It's literally just an espresso pod where I've done a couple of shots and then just a shit ton of ice. The reason I make them iced is because I can now drink this within the next 20 seconds and get fucking straight on that spin bike. The thing is, right, the worst part of my day, and I had to wait, my phone didn't charge last night. It was on 4% when I woke up, so thankfully my alarm went off. But yeah, I'm gonna have to have my phone charging in the garage, which is fine, I can just watch something on my laptop, but I don't have like Wi-Fi out there, so I need the hotspot from my phone to hotspot my laptop so I can actually watch something on my laptop anyway, which is annoying because it is what it is. But obviously I know I can charge my phone out there, but where I charge my phone it's just really awkward, so I won't be able to watch anything relative to where the spin bike is. But I'm going to drink this and then we're going to crack on with today. It's going to be a good day. This morning of 90.9. Yesterday I hit a new low of 91 on the dot. Body weight does seem to be responding pretty well the last several days. And I won't lie, definitely seeing the changes in the mirror, and definitely looking like noticing little details. Definitely starting to feel a little bit flat now. Like these past couple of days, like especially yesterday after I trained legs, which is obviously a given because obviously my upper body's going to be really flat after training legs. But I was like, Jesus, definitely. There's new levels of condition here, but I'm definitely flattening it off, which again, it's part of the game. I don't mind flattening it off. I just obviously, I'm excited to see how things look when I'm maybe a little bit fuller. I never really actually look that flat, in all fairness. Like, I'd say I have quite a bubbly physique, especially for a white guy. But my weaker areas definitely do look quite a lot worse. Like my lats and my arms, when they're flat, like I do lose a lot there. So, obviously we don't want to run too flat, but I imagine if I was to take I've probably got some high days coming up in the next week or so. I will say I'm filming a YouTube video on Monday, so if they were to be before that, so I look good for the YouTube video, or I don't look too flat for the YouTube video, or on Monday, that would be great. But at the same time, I don't really care. Like, I'm really not that arsed about food. My appetite's still. I'm enjoying my meals again, which is really nice. I actually appreciate my food, and I like the food I eat. Like, I really like the food I eat. It tastes I like chicken and rice, for instance, is probably my favourite food in the world. Like, I could eat that for the rest of my life. But in the off season, I was just not enjoying it. But now I actually enjoy my meals, which is, it's nice. Even my cream of rice, now I've started freezing it and like getting it like semi-frozen. I'm actually starting to enjoy that as well, which is nice, because I never thought I'd actually enjoy cream of rice. Really, I don't really like it, to be honest, like if it's hot at all. But either way, it's nice, although I definitely am going to go back to cereal in the off season for sure, or potentially something else. But either way, it's nice to enjoy my meals again, but it's also nice not to be hungry for them. But I also think a lot of that's just because I'm pretty fucking busy, so I don't really think about food. Like, I just know I need to eat if I need to eat, you know. But either way, I'm gonna crack on once I've again drank this coffee. 35 minutes cardio. Steps have gone up to 15k. Cardio is 35 on training days, 40 on non-training days. Clen 80. It's been 80 for a little while though. No changes, other changes, stack adjustments or anything like that. I think I'll get a slight stack adjustment next week, which would be cool. I think test is going up potentially, or maybe like we're changing the ratio slightly of test to mast. Just play around with that and just help bring about a bit more fullness, which will be fun. And yeah, away from that, I'm actually going to crack on now. So have a good day, guys, and I'll speak to you in a bit. Right, guys, so I'm out on a walk. Finished cardio up a little bit. Well, I say a little bit ago, like 10 minutes ago or whatever. Decent session, to be fair. Decent little cardio spin. Just chilling out on my fucking laptop watching shit. At the end, I started watching some Machiavelli motivation. Not because I need motivation, just because I enjoy those sorts of videos. And like that, like the videos, they sort of produce a lot of the older ones as well. Like that's like what bodybuilding like should be about. Like, I just think they're just fucking, I don't know, I don't really know how to describe it, and you won't know unless you watch it, but it's just like fucking like 2000s to 2010 bodybuilding. It's just so much fucking cooler than it was today. Like, don't get me wrong, there's things about today that are definitely better, but like I was watching one of them and it was Sergio Olivier Jr. and like he did like fucking like 6 different bicep exercises, and 3 of them were just different preacher curls, like while he was training with Milos. And like honestly, bro, like no one does that shit anymore because you just get called, it would just be called redundant. And don't get me wrong, like yeah, it definitely is redundant. Like you don't need to do a fucking cable preacher curl and then like a machine preacher curl and then like a easy bar preacher curl all in the same fucking session. But like people like that back then, people just didn't overthink shit. Everyone fucking overthinks shit now. Everyone just gets paralysis analysis, and everyone's like almost too overcritical with their thinking. And you know, like bodybuilding fundamentally is so simple, especially for the people who overthink it need the most, like don't even need to focus on that sort of shit either. It's like, look, you guys need to focus on nailing the basics, your nutrition, your training, because the people who overthink a lot of the shit are the people who don't have any fucking tissue. You don't need to worry about making things super intricate and like going into the sort of finer details of things, because they're not consistent in the first place. Their nutrition shit, their training intensity shit, their training accuracy is shit. Like all of these sort of basic fundamental variables, their sleep shit, you know, stuff like that, right? Why are you worrying about fucking, you know, for instance, everyone always says like resistance profiles, like why are you worrying about resistance profiles when you don't even train hard? Which is true, but like again, like all of these sort of like more even more simple things, like for example, what the best training split is, it doesn't fucking matter, just fucking train, man. Like Jesus Christ. But yeah, either way, feeling pretty good. I'm telling myself in my head, we've got a busy few weeks coming up, and I'm very excited because it's making this prep like fucking breathing away. Touch wood, it obviously stays that way, but like this week travelled to Norton for an in-person check-in. Busy day, but really productive. I did think about filming it, but honestly it would have been fucking so a bit too much if I think I was filming it as well. So I didn't end up filming it, but it was a really good day. I won't lie, like the only caveat of having like 15k steps and potentially like more than this is like my steps got to 20k in my natty prep, but well, to be fair, that was only for a couple of days, but they were like 18k for a little while. But either way, like the only thing is having like relatively high steps is obviously time. It's quite time consuming, and like doing like like the traffic was pretty shit on the way back. I was in the car for probably over 6 hours. 6 hours of being sat in the car with my arguably one of my busiest days checking wise. I'm going to walk back down here because it's a bit more quiet as opposed to walking alongside the road.
But yeah, I had I think my busiest check-in day. Thankfully, I say thankfully, for some reason like a couple of people decide not to check in, which kind of I guess made it a little bit easier because I don't have quite as much check-in or work to do. But either way, our busiest check-in day, 15k steps, cardio, plus meals and all that shit and training and stuff. Like being busy in a diet is a blessing. Blessy diet, and I just want to put so many words together. But either way, being busy in a diet is a blessing. It stops you thinking about like food and just makes you crack on. But it was a pretty draining day, so trying to film that would have been a bit of a nightmare. But either way, regardless of that, yesterday, good day. I won't lie, I was a bit disappointed in my 2 of my sets from my leg session yesterday. So I actually dropped a rep on my back off set. Now top set on the squat press. Really well, best ever there. Like I lost a rep, but I did take a load increase. However, the back down set I did drop a rep. Now to be fair, this is kind of I think this is kind of my fault, because basically I was fucking around my foot positioning a little bit between one of the reps, and like, do you know when you like basically if you're doing a squat thing or like a leg compound and you like fucking like basically put all the fucking pressure onto one leg because you're readjusting the other leg, and like I did that on like rep 6 or 7, and I think that cost me quite a lot of energy, to be fair. I was just flapping around my foot positioning a bit too much, I think, because like I messed it up from the start and I tried to correct it, which I should have just cracked on with it because I probably would have matched reps otherwise. So I think that's the reason I lost a rep there. And then unfortunately I did lose a rep as well on my pendulum. I'm pretty sure I got 11 last week. I got 10. I failed the 11th this week, which in all fairness, that genuinely, like, that wasn't my fault. That was me just fucking being weaker than last time, which is not ideal. That said, at the end of the day, the set was really good. Like, my quads were fucked after it, so I'm no doubt I created stimulus there, and realistically your body's not going to know the difference between you adding a rep or losing a rep. It doesn't know how many reps I did last week, basically. But at the same time, obviously, it's just something to note. One thing I'm trying to do throughout this prep is being incredibly transparent about my training, and like considering that's like the first, like again, like I said, the squat press was kind of my fault, so I'm not too asked about that, because again, it was a good quality set up until I started flapping around my feet. But like I said, the top set went well, but the pendulum back off, I won't lie, it did get to me a little bit. I'm pretty emotionally attached to my training, which I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate, and that does come with a cost sometimes. And I think this is where like being able to almost not take a step back from the logbook, but somewhat detach from it from time to time is key. Like I logbook quite loosely anyway, so I definitely wouldn't say I'm not that attached to it. But regardless of, like, even yesterday I wasn't really even using my logbook because I know what sort of weights I do, which is still why I'm so attached to my training, because I know what I did last week. I know I got 11 reps last week on that pendulum, so getting 10 reps yesterday, I was a bit like, oh fuck. But at the same time, I know the effort that actually went into that set was still absolutely immense. Reece trucked some Anavar in to help me maintain strength. Jokes aside, honestly though, we're going again, and next week, and I will aim to take that +1 back, or go back up to 11, or at least hold on to double-digit territory, so 10 reps. I'm going to walk back down here again because I'm still not finished talking. And also, I quite like walking down here. It's quite nice, even though it's a very short, like, little bit. It's nicer than walking on the road, and it just gets me more steps in. But either way, yeah, so I was a little bit disappointed with that, but the rest of the session was absolutely mint, and my quads were absolutely fucked afterwards. So it is what it is at the end of the day, but I can't complain. One or two bad sets out of prep so far, like, can't really get wrong with that. It's crazy to think I'm over halfway until, well, I imagine British Finals will be my last show. I don't really want to do anything after that. I want to just go to a rebound, and also on top of that, Phoebes and I are going to go away on holiday to Italy, like early December. Well, I'll be in health phase by that point, I imagine, with sort of how things are. Definitely won't be rebounding, that's for sure. But I just want to obviously take some time to sort of chill out, fucking off-season max, life max. Like, I don't really want to, like I said, this prep for me is just about getting my feet wet in assisted bodybuilding. Speaking of which, like, I actually, fucking hell. Brain's working at like 3 times speed and my mouth is just not keeping up. I'll speak about expectations going into this season in a minute, but yeah, I think that'll be my last show. So if that is my last show, which 90% will be, I'm already halfway through my prep, which is crazy to think about. So far, this has been the easiest diet of my life, which is sick. Like, I'm really happy. So touch wood, it stays that way. But either way, yeah, that's crazy, because that means I'm like probably like 5. I don't know. Probably like somewhere in the realms of, like, honestly, 5 to 6, 7 weeks out, I guess. I don't really know, because like I said, I'm not 100% sure on what my first show will be, because like, there's potential I might jump in a bit earlier. To be honest, like, I kind of know what shows I'll be doing, like, and like, I'm not trying to keep it secret. It's just I haven't booked any of them, so nothing's really confirmed, and like, I haven't like fully spoken to Reese about it. We're kind of just going to see how the next 2 weeks go before we really like sort of book things in and confirm things. But obviously British finals, I want to do 2 regionals, PCA regionals that is, to do junior bodybuilding and then also classic short. Assuming I'm right on the cusp again, I'll be in classic short, although I think I could probably bullshit classic tall, but I don't really care. A classic short is definitely more competitive, so I think I'd probably rather be in classic short, to be honest. But anyway, junior bodybuilding at a regional, which will probably be the first show I do, I imagine. So potentially PCA Midlands, which will be in about 4 weeks' time. Assuming obviously I'm ready by that point, which I do think with the rate things are moving, I probably could be. But the goal is, like, the main goal is obviously like finals, like British finals, is that's where I obviously want to be 100% at. But I imagine with how things are moving, I'll be more than ready enough for a slightly early show. I really like the idea of doing the FitX Welsh, which is on the 27th. The only issue of that is it does collide with PCA Naturals, which I do have a client doing at the minute, or maybe potentially a couple, which at the end of the day, both of them, like, I have said to them, like, there is a small chance I might not be able to be at that show, depending on sort of how things align, but it won't be either of their first shows, which at the end of the day, like, at that point, both of them will have competed twice, so we'll have a good amount of data, and like, obviously I'll be on my phone anyway, but it's obviously just a shame because like that's the Naturals Championship, so I would like to be there, but at the same time I really do the FitX Welsh, so we'll just sort of see how things land in that regard. Because that would be cool. I just to get some experience outside of PCA, and also FitX shows are supposedly really fun. Walking back down here again, East Sound, more steps for me. But yeah, there's that aspect of things. I do also think as well, like, I quite like the idea of doing, well, I think PCA Central for classic, the other regional. I did like the idea of doing like fucking like PCA Yorkshire. They moved things around, because initially PCA London, I'm pretty sure, was on the 4th, but now I think I don't know, they moved some stuff around. But basically I did like the idea of doing PCA London, PCA Central, and then British finals. But then if I do like obviously the FitX as well, that's 4 weekends on the trot, which is a lot, so I'm not going to be doing that. So that's why the sort of idea of doing the PCA Midlands isn't a bad idea. So I'm not doing 4 weekends on the trot. But then also if I could, yeah, I don't know, we'll figure it out. But those are sort of the idea of shows I might be doing. I don't really want to do PCA Manchester, it's fucking trek. Likewise, PCA, yeah, I don't really want to do it. Yeah, I think that's all of them, to be fair. Yeah, I'm not too sure. But either way, that's that. But yeah, expectations going into this prep. But honestly, like, I want to win. Yeah, of course I want to win. But my expectations aren't that I'm going to win, like, in regards to, like, I'd like to win a class, like, I'd like to have a class win. I think that's like the sort of minimum expectation. But that said, like, at the end of the day, I cannot control who turns up. There's some very, very good athletes, especially, like, I know there's some very, very good junior athletes towards the end of this year, but also on top of that, like, in classic short, like I said, it's very competitive. Ultimately, I know I'm young, I've got plenty of time, I've got 2 more years left as a junior, although I will not be doing my final year as a junior, because I'm going to do next year. After next year, it's just a case of full sending off season, and just going fucking open, because I'll be like, I'm not going to be far off my weight cap this time round. Next year I'll definitely be above it by the time, and I imagine I'll actually have to make weight, and not that that matters this year, because I'm not doing 2 bros this year, but next year the plan is to do 2 bros, potentially anyway. We'll definitely do 2 bros, but either way, as I was saying, obviously expectations for the season are ideally class win. That would be cool. I definitely would like to win a class and then like push an overall. Not saying I'll win one, you know, I'm a pretty small enhanced bodybuilder. I don't expect it. I know I won an overall at my first show, but honestly this is like a new level, So I'm not expecting to win an overall, but I would like to be in one and push for like maybe like the top 3 in that overall. Obviously there's gonna be some big fuckers, you know, like winning like the bodybuilding classes. So I do not necessarily expect to win an overall whatsoever. I know I'm a small guy at the moment. But either way, that's generally that. It's just to get my feet wet and assist the bodybuilding and be the best athlete I can be. And then sort of see where things land this year. And then next year is probably gonna be a bit more, not serious necessarily, but obviously I'm not walking up and down the road again, fuck that. A bit more sort of, not serious, let's say, because again, like I said, I'll be definitely do Super Bros regional and Pro Qual next year, with sort of how things are stacking up. But feeling good, vibes are good. We'll just continue cracking on for now. So here we are. I've done my, so I came back from the walk, done just over 4,000 steps now, did my mobility work, put my rice in the rice cooker before that, so it was done when I came out, and then I have now got my first meal. I've also prepped my cream of rice and my post-workout meal for later, but yeah, as you guys can see, here's my pre-workout meal. So we got 200 grams raw weight chicken, 80 grams raw weight rice, 20 grams sriracha chili, 200 grams banana, and 10 grams of dark chocolate. Yes guys, so we're now off to the gym. It's just gone 10 AM. Got my check-ins done, or the ones that have come through. To be fair, I don't really have many on Wednesday. I've got like, I think one more to come through. Yeah, I got one more. I think I got one more check-in to come through later on. But I got my post-workout meal after the gym. Some clothes, a spare t-shirt. What else did I do? So, yeah, last time you guys saw me, I was eating my pre-workout meal. After that, when I had a shower, did some check-ins, and then pinned some anabolic steroids, of course, which is actually what I literally just did. I did my rear delts today, which is for me, it's quite rare. I don't do my delts at all, really. I don't do my side delts because I usually get like, I find it really hard to. First of all, I can only tolerate a very small amount of shot volume. Second of all, I seem to get quite bad pip, regardless of the compound. Again, I think it's more so a volume tolerance issue. But yeah, I get quite often I get like a pip and I don't really like it. I don't really like the way it feels. I get quite knotty. Yeah, I just don't really do it. To be honest, I rotate between my traps, my lats, and my ventral glute. And then, like I said, occasionally I'll throw in my rear delts. And I'm thinking about starting to do my biceps a little bit, but I have done it before. But I won't lie, I'm not a massive fan of it. But yeah, I'll be doing that more, as I imagine. The more I have to pin, the older I get, and the more gear I take. But that's part of the game, isn't it? You've got to make sure you do rotate your injection sites, because otherwise you may be building up scar tissue in areas that you do not want. Driving with one hand, a manual car, is quite difficult, I will say. So yeah, either way, using my right hand to change my gear stick is crazy. But yeah, either way, we're off to the gym. I'm going to take you guys through my pull session today. Hopefully the mic is on and you can actually hear me. I believe it is on. I think I turned it on. My face is looking pretty fucking lean. Thank you, sir. But yeah, feeling pretty fucking lean. Feeling pretty fucking flat, but ready to get a good pump nonetheless. I'm going to be training my other pull session is actually a posterior session, but I'm training back today. And like I said, I'll take you guys through my session, but it's going to be a good session, hopefully. I'm going to spam some mega pump to get there, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. So that was the first exercise there, single arm pull downs, pullover, sorry. I think that for me is the exercise I find I get the best internal sort of feel with my lats with. My lats feel absolutely like pumped as fuck after doing that, and it just feels nails, bro. Sort of potentiate the lats a bit. We're moving to our first exercise here, which is a not a single arm pull down, sorry, a close grip pull down. Got 3 sets here. I did 2 sets on that single arm pullover. I only recorded the first set. I did 2 sets there, just chasing a really good internal feel. Got 3 sets on this pull down, and we're going to move into some upper back work, finishing off with a single arm lat row and then arms basically. Quite a short session in a way, but like it's good. I did used to do a single arm pull down instead of the dual arm, but because my shoulders obviously are playing up, I basically wanted to do something that was like bilateral or dual arm or whatever. So yeah, basically bilateral pull down into a bilateral row for upper back, and then a single arm lat row, and then 2 bicep, 1 tricep exercise. Okay, heavy fucking pull downs about to go down. Generally, like do sort of lat pull down, especially I like to go thumbs. Just get much better sort of internal feel. Guys, so that's the first 2 exercises wrapped up. Bit of that work to obviously start things off because that's what I need to prioritise. We'll move into our upper back row now. We've got 3 sets across upper back rows. Now the way I do it might seem a little bit redundant, but it's just what I enjoy most. And essentially I'll distribute 2 sets onto this compound row because right now it's not my favourite exercise, but because of the rotating free motion handles and arms, it allows me to like probably get the most out of my upper back in regards to my shoulder. So that's why I opted for this. prefer a chest supported row. So there is a chest supported row with free motion handles, however the arms are fixed, and it's also quite light, so that's why I don't do that. I do that as the third set usually, so I'll do 2 sets on here. So then when I go into that, I don't have to worry about low being an issue. I just try and make it as like natty as possible, basically, to really sort of rinse everything I can out my upper back. But today I kind of feel like giving the T-bar a go, seeing what I can do on there. Like obviously it'll be like super light, super controlled. It'll be like probably like 2.5 plates, to be honest. Like honestly, my T-bar has suffered massively from my shoulder. Those are probably the reason my shoulder's injured in the first place. But if I can do a set on there, I will. If not, I'll do it on the Gym 80 machine. But it will have to be super natty. Long have the days gone where I'd be ripping 5 plates on the Gym Echo T-bar, at least for the time being. They will be back, hopefully at one point. I just need to allow my shoulder to sort itself out. It definitely is getting there, but it's not where I want it to be, which is a bit annoying. But either way, we'll crack on. It's my excuse if I don't win. My shoulder was gay. I'm joking. Got my intro here as well. Ignore ESN, Conte GT10. It's just the shaker, but I've got 45 grams carb drive, 1 serving of the Conte EAA, and some pink salt here. And I'll have this about 2 to 3 exercises into my session, depending on what session it is, because it depends on the duration of the session. But basically, as long as it's roughly halfway between my pre and my post. So there's a load of rubbers on this piece to be fair, so we'll see how things go. Let's fucking some shit. Yeah, buddy, some shit. Throw some weight around, some heavy load exposure, do some more natty stuff afterwards. I prove to myself like this is like the one sort of exercise in the session that I really like to have a bit of fun with. So you know, I need like 1 or 2 sets per session. I can just fucking throw some weight around. That's what I enjoy about training. So like not doing that. When I had a bend over in the off season, my natty off season, like before I died last year, like I had that. It's like the exercise on my full session to get up for. Everything else is single arm pull down, single arm pull over, single arm row. That one movement, you want to have one movement ideally, in my opinion, per session to really get up for it. Titty pick. So we're gonna my arms actually look kind of cool there. Considering I have short arms, they still look skinny there. I'm gonna try out the T-bar, see what I can do on there. Again, super like I'm also hyper focused on just trying to get the most out of my upper back without fucking my shoulder up. But we'll see how things go. So, but yeah, those 2 sets there are really nice. My upper back feels lit up. For like the thing is, I think a lot of people write off non-chest supported rows, but You know, if you get a lot out of them, fucking do them, bro. Not everything has to be chest supported. Yes, you probably should have a chest supported row in your program, unless you're fucking, you know, you've got that fucking body density from like fucking heavy T-bar rows. I was thinking about that earlier. I want to do like a landmine T-bar row again. I miss doing those. They were good fun. Damn, my face is like kind of lean. Death face inbound. I know when I've got death face. My death face, like, I feel like, you know, some people just don't really have too much of death face, probably too much GH, which that's kind of not true, to be fair. But I feel like my death face, at least like if I remember when I was like natty crapping, my death face is like a death face, bro. Like cheekbones fully in, everything's popping. But anyway, I'm gonna do 3 plates. I think I found a good groove with it. I just need to, basically, I can't really, like, one thing I think I've made a mistake of in the past is like not over exaggerating the stretch, but really trying to like almost hyper extend through the thoracic, which is entirely unnecessary to like hyper flex, not extend, sorry, through the thoracic. I think that kind of just honestly makes it feel worse. I feel like I lose the tension and sort of tightness in my back, and it gives like a good internal feel, but it's not needed. Like, you'll reach full stretch of the upper back without actually rounding through your thoracic spine, if that makes sense. So yeah, like there's no need to necessarily do that. As much as it does feel good internally, it's not actually stretching out the upper back further necessarily. But yeah, I think I found a good groove with this, so we'll try it, see what we can do. Yo, so as the T-bar wrapped up, we did 1 set. It actually felt pretty fucking good. I can tell my right shoulder just feels a bit janky. I think honestly a lot of it comes down to, first of all, I think this Jim Lecco T-bar, well, this is the only one, actually no, so I've only used 2, but this one I feel like it always seems to like sort of wobble to one side slightly, and I feel like that makes it worse and accentuates the issue with the shoulder because it leans towards the side. Like as I come down, it feels like it pulls across basically. I feel like that's part of the issue, but I think the main issue is the fact that this shoulder just naturally sits higher than this shoulder, which is why I think the shoulder's got an impingement. But I think a combination of those is essentially the reason my shoulders get fucked up, which is why I like this Nautilus row, because obviously the arms move, the handles are free motion, so it doesn't matter that one of my arms sits slightly higher. Because again, like towards the end of the set, I feel like I was just losing this sort of shoulders tightness, or like tightness through the back a little bit sooner than the other arm, but it is what it is. I ended up doing a double drop set, and for reference, I usually do a drop set anyway on that set on the Gym 80, just because I enjoy it. But I did a double drop set today because I'm fucking hardcore. Now we're back on the Nautilus compound row for a single arm lat row. I think this and the Cybex Bravo, not the Cybex Bravo, the Cybex Eagle lat row are the best like lat row movements. I've never used the seated prime row for a single arm row in all fairness, as far as I'm aware, but I imagine they're getting that piece here to replace this Matrix one here. So I'll be able to find that out in the future, but I really like this, to be honest. So 2 sets here, and then we'll move into some arms. Right guys, so my arm work, I just realised I don't have my mic on me anymore. I'm actually not sure where it is. Shit. All good guys, I have found it. It was in my my pocket, now I've got it on. So first of all, we are first arm exercise. Got a seated cable curl. I do a D-handle cable curl on a push day, and I do a seated like dual arm. Not dual arm, bilateral. Fucking hell, straight bar curl. Straight bar curl. Maybe prep brain is getting to me. Yeah, so I do this today on a pull day, followed up with some cable skull crushers, and then I'll finish off with either kind of whatever the fuck I feel like. Usually some sort of hammer curl variation, whether that's a dumbbell hammer curl or a rope hammer curl. It will be one of those two usually, but potentially I might throw in a singular set of like. I won't add necessarily extra volume, but I do 3 sets on all of these arm exercises. So I might do my final set of the rope hammer curls. I might do just some easy bar curls because I'm kind of fancy doing those. But away from that, that's everything. I'm going to crack on with these 3 sets here. Let's fucking go. Yes guys, so that is the session wrapped up, incredibly productive. A little bit more of a time efficient session today. So I did superset the skull crushers and rope cable curls, just down to the fact a bit push for time. Like I said, I've got some stuff to do this afternoon before my massage. So yeah, gotta get on, move on. I don't really mind supersetting arms, to be fair, because I like it. It's fun. It throws me back to the good old days. And I didn't superset all of it, but I know I didn't record any of it. But 3 sets of skull crushers and 3 sets of curls. Oh, that's fucking but yeah, and then we finished off very, very brief bit of posing, but good session nonetheless. So get back to the car now, get hustle on. Back feels pumped as fuck, which is cool because I've only had 1 meal, which is sweet. So yeah, happy days, happy fucking days. Yes guys, so just had my post-workout meal. I'd show you guys, but I've already eaten it because I was quite hungry. It's been a little while since I've eaten, to be fair. I didn't want to go hypo, so we had 125 cream of rice, 60 whey, 100 frozen berries. Crumpet and honey have been pulled from that meal, which is a shame because, to be honest, I actually really like crumpets. But again, it is what it is. I've eaten enough crumpets in my time. Honestly, I had them so much in like not my last off season, the one before that, like the natty off season. I had so many in that, like I hadn't had them for ages, and then I introduced them at the start of prep, and I was like, damn, I actually like them again, which is nice. But either way, that was that meal there. So we're gonna go get some. I need to go fill up my car because I got 9 miles till empty, which is brilliant. So I'm gonna go get some petrol, set me back a good amount of money because petrol's a fucking super expensive now. And then from there, I'm going to go back to mine, go on a walk, probably get another meal in before going to my massage, which will be cool. So yeah, either way, I've got a few other little bits to do. Yeah, my WhatsApp just sat here clearing through a few messages after finishing my post-workout meal. I feel a lot better now I've eaten. Like, again, my appetite's still shit, but like I do feel like post-workout, if I you know, it's just those hypo symptoms, you know, where like I get a bit shaky, I get a bit jittery, like I'm like, oh shit, my blood sugar's getting a bit low. I feel not necessarily like lightheaded, like I didn't feel lightheaded today, but sometimes I feel a bit lightheaded. It's just like I need to eat, man. But yeah, I've eaten. I've not brain rotted for a minute, but I've just chilled out, watched some YouTube while I was eating. I feel a lot better, and like that's like for me post workout, like that's my time, like bro. Like post workout meal, I don't want to fucking talk to anyone. I just want to fucking watch some YouTube and fucking eat my food, regardless of whether or not it's the off season or prep, like or diet or whatever. I want to fucking just. I just tax my brain mentally in the session. But yeah, it's a good day so far. Life's good. I'm gonna get moving and I'll talk to you guys in a minute. Right guys, so funny story. I was complaining about petrol prices and I've just gone in and spent 20 quid on different monsters. £4 a pop. Now, here's the thing. I've been keeping my energy drinks pretty minimal throughout prep. However, this is definitely a bit of a prep purchase and I'm not afraid to admit it. They had all of the fucking like, not new monsters, like I've never seen. I wanted to try some of these for a little while, and I've come across like 5 of them all at once. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna buy them and I'll just put them in the fridge and then I'll have them as and when. I'm not gonna have one today because I've already trained. I don't like having caffeine after I train, but I thought I'd pick them all up while I can, and while it was a lot of money, I want to try them at some point or another. So we've got the Ultra Wild Passion Fruit, which looks pretty decent. They're all Ultra ones, obviously, because I'm prepping. The Ultra Sunrise, the Ultra Blue Hawaiian. I've tried the original Ultra Blue, but not Ultra Blue Hawaiian. This one, which I've never actually had them before, Ultra Pink Punch, Punk Punch, whatever the fuck that's called, and then the American looking one that's like Ultra Red, White, Blue Raz. This is definitely the most preppy thing I've done on prep. Like, this is like silly in some regards, but like I said, I wanted to try all of these for a little while. Regardless of whether or not it was the off-season or prep, I would have bought all of these. So, either way, got these, and I'll try these throughout like the next couple of weeks or whatever. But yeah, I'm excited to try this one. This is the one I'm probably most excited to try. But for the meantime, back into the bag they go, and into the fridge. And if someone steals them from me, I'll be so sad because that cost me 20 quid. 20 quid for 5 drinks. It's crazy, man. Crazy. Petrol on top of that as well. Brutal.